Welcome back to the pod. Today we're talking about an 18-year-old midfielder from Dublin born 16th of December 2005 called Sean McMahon. Started off at Dublin side Pearse Rangers before moving to Belmont FC, then around 14 to St John Bosco's FC. At 15 he joined Bohemians. At Bohemians he developed a lot along with the club, and in particular Pat Cleary, who's a director of coaching at the elite famed youth side Home Farm, and also involved with Bohemians for years. A year later, at 16, he, along with a growing list of Irish players at the time, were making the jump across to Italy. He too moved to Italy, in his case with the help of Pat Cleary, joining the youth setup of Serie C side Mantova FC, along with another teammate, Daniel Sabatini. He initially went on trial in the summer of 22 with Mantova, and along with Daniel, both signed for them after impressing in their trial, playing and training with the under-19s and also the first team. So there was a real connection there with first team football for Sean and Daniel. Early on, he became a regular starter for the 19s as well, and again trained and played with the first team in pre-season matches. So it was all going according to plan. However, like many others before him at clubs elsewhere around the world, things off the field interfered with his time at the club, and in his case, again, not unheard of, especially at youth level, there was registration issues which were out of his control now, albeit like he's only 16 at this time. He's in Italy, Mantova, on his own. Well, he has a teammate there, but basically the club and him, I'm sure there wasn't a lot of English speakers at the club either, so that's brave in itself. The club, who were very keen on him, and the player himself, tried to rectify the registration issues. Throughout, he continued to train with both the under-19s and first team, but he couldn't play, unfortunately, on the weekends due to the registration issues. He was allowed to play at under-19s level in cup games, however, making it to the last round of 16 before losing to under-19 side of Serie A giants Milan, who knocked him out. The registration issues and red tape surrounding it meant, unfortunately, his time with Mantova came to a premature end, and even though the club wanted to keep him, their hands unfortunately were tied. Therefore, in 2023, the now 17-year-old returned home, initially signing for Liffey Wanderers in the Leinster Senior League. Again, to those outside of Ireland, the Leinster Senior League is basically that and other leagues around the country would be considered like third tier kind of leagues. So the third division obviously is just scrambling to get back into first team football. But after 4 months back in Ireland with Liffey Wanderers, he had a trial and thereafter signed for Bohemians again, starting to play straight away with their under-19 side. Again, for those outside of Ireland, Bohemians Academy is one of the best in the country, with Shamrock Rovers, St. Pat's and others, but Bows are right up there in the academy side of things. December just gone, 2023, played with Dublin-based Maximum Performance Academy versus Brentford, Barnet and MK Dons in England. And after a successful trip, he came back to Bows and continued to play with them regularly. They were underage, set up under 19s. He felt he was excelling on the pitch and he should be in the first team. And, again, you have to have that confidence. But he decided, again, another brave, like moving to the third division and third tier in Italy was brave in itself at 16. So he's not scared of making brave moves, but he decided to leave Bows in search of first team week in, week out football, whether that be initially an academy with a pathway to first team football or straight into a first team in the UK or in the League of Ireland, where he could be, knocking on the door of a lot of teams in League of Ireland, and I'm sure there's a lot of interest in him in the UK as well. In the past week, For example, he was named man of the match versus Reading under 21s. Again, Reading under 21s, they have a decent academy themselves, so to be named man of the match is impressive. There's another Irish lad, there's a couple of Irish lads in the youth setup in Reading. One of them is John Ryan, who was in Italy again. He was one of those players that went to Italy from UCD, Sassuolo again. So yeah, I'm sure Reading are aware of the path that perhaps mightn't work out for various reasons, not on the field in Italy. So, and why Irish players go to Italy now, because until you're 18 in Ireland, you can't play in the UK. So Redden would have obviously noted all of that, noted his skills and the fact he was man of the match. He stood out. He is training with multiple clubs at the moment, and being in the summer window, no doubt he will have multiple options on the table with another tough decision. Not that he's going to be scared to make a tough decision. Maybe by mid to end August, maybe sooner, of course. Of course, he won't be limiting himself just to Ireland and the UK, being that he's already been outside of that bracket and potentially comfort zone of Ireland and the UK, even though UK is outside of Ireland, of course, but it's still close enough that you have a bit of a buffer to fall back on. But you know, he's already gone outside that bracket at the age of 16. He's now 18. Now again at 18, the registration issues that got in his way when he was at Mantova, they'll no longer be an issue. A move he enjoyed and did well at in Mantova, but through no fault of his own or the club couldn't pursue because of the registration issues, could potentially be resurrected. You'd imagine Mantova, if they're not keeping tabs on him, he reach out and they'll remember him. There'll still be a lot of the same staff there, so they go, yeah, he was good, yeah, let's get him back for a trial. That's all this guy really needs, is the opportunity to pull through to the next level. Although in Italy the first time around there was the language barrier, that's also no longer the case because he can speak it quite well still from his time at Mantova. So with his previous contacts in Italy, there may be an option there too now or down the line if he wishes, as staff and coaches also move around, and people he would have worked with in Italy will still be at Mantova, of course, but they'll be also elsewhere. So all that has to really happen is the contact be made with these people, and they'll go, yeah, bring him in for a trial. It'll get his foot in the door anyway, you know. So that's another avenue open to him. He's got a lot of experience behind him so far at the very young age of 18. The player himself may feel he has had his share of bad luck and missed chances today, and you know, he again might feel he should be further along than he is, but that, in my opinion, my humble opinion, of course, that's couldn't be further from the truth. He's mixed in good circles in Ireland with people and staff both on and off the field, so other players, coaching staff, people around clubs. He's shown heart and determination. He's not scared to leave any stone unturned in getting his week in, week out football pro contract at the highest level. His time in Italy will stand to him as well. The fact he can speak Italian and he's had that experience behind him. And again, it wasn't because of his footballing that he missed out on that opportunity. It was stuff outside of his control. So, you know, there's going to be people that will still, if they haven't kept tabs on him, if he reaches out to them, of course, they'll remember him. That could lead to trials there. In the English game as well, he's done well in the games he's played there. As I listed them earlier, and also the Reading under 21s games. So that will have highlighted him with those clubs, but not only those clubs, other people, the word's going to get around, other people, he'd be invited, he'd be training with people, you know, so people will be hearing down the grapevine, trying to get the next big thing. So yeah, it's going to open doors from just getting that exposure. To note, he's also trained with Ireland. Another bone is cap at the youth level. He hasn't any caps as of yet, but you can expect that to change in the near future. Again, he is only 18. If I was to guess, I'd imagine he will sign for an academy initially in the UK, England at the latest by the end of August. But obviously our channel, what we're interested in is moving abroad. So wouldn't it be great if you went back to Mantova to, you know, right the wrongs of that one again, all out of him. And it wasn't that the club didn't want him, and it wasn't that he didn't do it on the field. It was outside issues that ended that opportunity prematurely. So wouldn't it be great to go back and, you know, get straight stuck in there? I'm not 100% sure, but I think Mantova are still in Serie C. I don't think they've been promoted or relegated. Of course, somewhere else, if the opportunity came in Italy or continental Europe, that would be great too. What happens next, I imagine we're going to find out very soon, and we're looking forward to finding out, and exciting times await. If you liked the video, send us a subscribe, like, comment. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, we'll be watching.